Hey everybody, welcome to the Saturday morning edition of the Quick Snack presented by Deep Fried Draft. I wanted to briefly touch on a couple of games that I got a chance to watch from Thursday night. That Appalachian State, Tennessee, the game went to overtime. I was really impressed by App State running back Marcus Cox. Showed some shiftiness, broke some tackles, great hands out of the backfield. He had a big game against Tennessee. So I'll look for him to have a big year this year. He was also on the Senior Bowl watch list, so he's got that. I think we can close the book on Tennessee quarterback Josh Dobbs as anything resembling a top-tier quarterback prospect. I mean, he's a senior now. He should be making better decisions than what he is, and it just doesn't look like it's going to get there for him. It's too bad, I mean, for Tennessee fans who thought this might maybe be the year that they went to the top of the SEC. But, I mean, if he continues to make mistakes like he made against App State, it's probably not going to happen this year. Also watched Minnesota and Oregon State. And I was really impressed by cornerback Jalen Myrick, another that's on the Senior Bowl watch list. He had a long kick return, made some plays in the pass game. So he's a guy that has a real chance to elevate his stock this season. Oregon State, no real standouts for me in that game. I only saw Jordan Villeman targeted maybe once to twice. I got a chance to watch Georgia Tech and Boston College this morning. Sloppy game. I spoke about John Hillman, the running back from Boston College, yesterday briefly, and he had a long touchdown run for BC. I look for him to be a mid-tier running back prospect this year. Colorado looked great last night against CSU. Sefo Lufau looked very comfortable in their Texas Tech style offense that they're going to run this year. The real standout to me was Chidobe Awuzie, the corner for Colorado. Very impressive last night. Interception all over, just making plays on defense. This guy could end up in the top 100, maybe as a nickel corner or a solid number 2 corner by the time the process is over. Also watched from last night Stanford and Kansas State. Christian McCaffrey, 200 plus all-purpose yards. And that's not counting a 98-yard punt return he had called back for a block that didn't even affect the play. But this guy's just going to continue to go up and up and up as the year goes on. Kansas State linebacker Elijah Lee, I believe I have his name right. I may be confused. But anyway, he was all over the field last night making plays for their defense. It was a good game. Solid back and forth game. Right now I'm watching Oklahoma and Houston. And this game has all the buildings of a shootout brewing. I said the other day I thought the top pro prospect for Oklahoma was redshirt sophomore tight end Mark Andrews. He just had a 61-yard catch and run for a touchdown where he outrun everybody on the Houston defense. Sky's the limit for that guy. Like I said, I don't know if he'll enter the draft this year. This tight end class is actually loaded for this season, and if he was to enter, I mean, he could very well end up at the top of the list if he were to enter, like I said, but I don't think he will. Other huge trade in the NFL today that I'm not sure really anybody saw coming. Philadelphia trades quarterback Sam Bradford to the Vikings for a first-round pick in next year's draft and a conditional fourth-round pick in the 2018 draft. The condition is if the Vikings make it to the NFC Championship game this year, it becomes a third-round pick. If they win the Super Bowl, it becomes a second-round pick. For as much as Bradford's accomplished in the NFL, he has been paid a significant amount of money and has reaped a lot back in trade value and such. I mean, if he can stay healthy, maybe he gets Minnesota back to the playoffs. Maybe. I mean, I guess they weren't too enthralled with the prospect of veteran Sean Hill leading them. This also leads some to believe that they may be more concerned about the long-term status of Teddy Bridgewater's knee than they're really leading on. For the Eagles, they get their first-round pick back. Get a first-round pick back next year that they traded to acquire Carson Wentz, who we're also told is if his ribs are healthy, he's starting day one now instead of Chase Daniel, who was the presumed starter for a few weeks anyway. And he may still end up starting week one if Wentz isn't ready to go. But Wentz is going to start when he's ready to go. So the big benefit here could be Cleveland, because if Philadelphia goes in the tank with Wentz at quarterback, then they obviously also have the look of a team that's not going to be very good this year. I mean, they could end up with 2 top 10 picks in next year's draft. Now, they haven't exactly been great at drafting in the first round here, so that may not even be good at all. But I guess we shall see. Like I said, a lot more games on the docket today. The big games tonight: Alabama, Southern Cal, Clemson, Auburn. You also have LSU, Wisconsin, UCLA, Texas A&M. I mean, it's just a great day for college football. We'll come back on. We'll pop back on here tomorrow and talk about the cuts that are currently just taking over right now. The NFL, as teams get down from 75 to 53. We'll talk about any names that are worth mentioning there, as well as we'll quickly go over some of these games from today and talk a little bit about the one game we're watching tomorrow. So until then, follow me on Twitter at Deep Fried Draft, Facebook.com/Deep Fried Draft. Thanks for listening to Brian Bosarge.